What is going on, everybody? My name is Brad Carney, and I'm the lead developer on Exoverse. And today I want to talk a little bit about difficulty. That's something that's been coming up in a lot of the feedback we've been getting about the game. So it's been something that's been on my mind, something I've been wanting to talk about for a while. Basically, the game is too hard, and I'm trying to figure out why that is, and also why it doesn't seem to be a problem for some other games that Exoverse is similar to. So let's first talk a little bit about the way difficulty tends to work in games. So basically, I have this little chart here. Sorry, this is the highest resolution version I could find. It's a little bit blurry, but that's okay. But basically, this is showing that, okay, so if anything at any given point is too difficult, people get anxious. They get anxiety. They basically feel like too stressed out by what they're doing. It feels overwhelming, and they're not having a good time. And on the other hand, if the player is too good at what they're doing, they're not being challenged enough, then they become bored. And that's obviously not great either. So games do a lot to try and like manage this so that you're never overwhelmed by the difficulty, and you're never not being challenged enough. So basically, as your skills increase, the challenge increases too. And this is done in a lot of different ways. For instance, like the first level of many games is generally a lot easier than the later levels of the game. So basically you start off, you don't have a lot of skills yet, so you don't want to overwhelm the player with a great deal of challenge and difficulty. And one thing we try and do in Exoverse, one way we try to manage this is with the whole unlock system. So because the game is a roguelike and you're going to be replaying the same sorts of levels over and over again, obviously, like, as you've played through the game a couple times, like, you're not starting off at this point. You're closer to over here. So we don't want like the first level to be like the same level of challenge, because your skills have increased. So that's where things like champion enemies come in. Relics, so you have to run in and grab them. All while shooting the enemies. That kind of thing. Is implemented to try and increase the challenge on the first few levels, so that you don't fall into this area of boredom. So it also, like multiplayer games, like all they have to do is like really match you up against other players of equal skill level, and guess what? This all kind of magically works out. Anyway, so as far as Exoverse goes, though, like, I don't know if like we're just always in this area, like the difficulty is just way too high, and people are just kind of like constantly in this area of anxiety. Because like even me as the developer, like I'm not really falling into this boredom area, and I probably play more than most people. So I don't know. So like I tend to feel like, so most people are going to be less skilled than I am, so they're probably going to be in this area a lot. So I don't know. It seems like there are certain games, though, especially roguelikes, where it seems like a lot of people like really enjoy being in this area. Like they really enjoy being overwhelmed by the difficulty. I was perusing some reviews last night for games like Don't Starve, Crypto Necrodancer. A lot of these reviews are like, I died 10 out of 10. Which you would think, like, if they're dying and being super challenged, they'd be in this area, they wouldn't be having a good time, and they would not be leaving a favorable review. But that I don't know. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like what it is about Exoverse that people aren't enjoying the difficulty of it. Maybe it's too difficult. Maybe there's something about the game that's not communicating that it's a roguelike. It's supposed to be challenging. You're supposed to die. You're supposed to fail it. You're supposed to, want to give it another go. I don't know. Like it could be. I know some games, like like when you die, like it's very clear what you did wrong, and it's very easy to want to get back there and correct that mistake and get farther than you did before. And I feel like that's the case in Exoverse, but maybe it isn't. Maybe when people die, like it seems too insurmountable. I don't know. Really looking for feedback here. Really looking for what you guys think about this. Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts. It's like we want to make this game as great as possible. Part of that is definitely diagnosing the problems, and once you have a problem diagnosed, you can fix it. Hopefully. Anyway, all right. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. Short one today, but you guys have a great day, and see you around.